Folks, the Finnex 24/7 Planted Plus LED light has been out for a while, but I wanted some experience with this light before reviewing it. After 9 months, I'd like to share my thoughts on the light, some pros and cons, and recommendations should you choose to buy it. The Finnex 24/7 Planted Plus, a review. My thoughts on the Finnex 24/7 LED light coming up. And there she is in all of her glory on the top of my 20-gallon tank. In this video, I'd like to do 3 things. 1, cover some of the lighting features. 2, the pros and cons of the light. And 3, some recommendations, again, should you choose to buy the light. What I'll be reviewing is the 24/7 Planted Plus KL24A. This just means it's a 24-inch light, 25 watts with 48 white and 24 red, green, and blue LEDs. Let's go over some of the lighting features. Now, once unboxed, I was pleasantly surprised with the lighting construction. There's a little weight to it in your hands. It is razor thin, but it does feel very durable. On the left and right side of the lights, you'll notice 2 notches. Now, these notches or slots are there to accommodate the bracing that comes with your Finnex light. And you simply insert the legs of the bracing into these 2 slots. And the bracing can be adjusted up and down the light to accommodate the length of your particular tank. A nice feature. Now, you'll notice on the bottom of the bracing an inside and outside panel and 2 screws, and here is where Finnex has you covered. If you have a rimless tank, you want to keep both panels on the bracing, and you simply use your screws and attach that to a rimless tank, such as my 10-gallon tank here. If you have a tank with a rim on it, we're going to remove the screws and you'll notice 2 other notches on top of the bracing. What we're going to do is pull the inside panel back, and we're going to remove that inside panel if we have a tank with a rim on it. Now, to tell on myself, this took me a few months to figure out. I actually had the inside and outside panels attached and just let the light sit on top of my 20-gallon tank. Took me a few months, but I finally got it. And now I have a perfect fit on the top of my 20-gallon tank, perfect fit on the rim. On one side of the light, you have your power source, and the other you have the receiver for your remote. Finnex gives you Velcro to attach that to your tank, and of course, one of the most popular features of this light is the 24-hour setting. Here is the setting on demo mode, which I did speed up because it takes about 2.5 minutes to run through the full demo mode, but the light will simulate a full day. 24 hours from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. if you have this on the 24/7 setting. You can also manipulate the color spectrum of the light. You can go full red.
Another practice demo? Yeah, here comes the green, then the blue again.
You can go full green.
Hope you're actually filming this time.
I'm actually filming it this time, guys. This isn't for practice.
And the blue again.
Or you can go full blue. Now, I don't know why anybody would want to leave it on full blue, red, or green all the time. Perhaps maybe at Christmas, or if blue is your favorite color. But of course, the real reason for the white, red, green, and blue buttons and corresponding arrows on the remote is to manipulate the color spectrum of the light. The whites, reds, greens, and blues can be turned up or down to your liking, the way you want to customize it. Other fun features on the light: you can set it to a cloudy day, shown here. You can set the lighting to a thunderstorm.
Killing us here, food man.
Guys, it's the last demo. We're almost done. Fish aren't too fond of the thunderstorm. You can set it to a sunlight setting. You guys know this. We got one more, and then we're getting there. Okay, or you can set it to
come on, food man.
the moonlight setting, which sometimes is nice at night. Of course, on 24/7 mode, this is what you will get at night. All right, guys, we are done with the demo.
Hope so. You only practiced the demo like 100 times.
I had to show the folks the features of the light. Now, the bright stuff, what I like about the light. Number 1, it grows plants, and it grows plants well. The plants in this tank were mostly grown with the 24/7 Planted Plus, and this picture is after another trimming that I had just done. I'm trimming the tank about every month and a half or so you get great plant growth. Number 2, flexibility in design. Whether you have a rimless tank or a tank with a rim on it, Finnex has you covered. And depending on the length of your tank, you can run the bracing up and down the rails to fit your particular tank length. Number 3, well-constructed, durable, and sturdy. All positives on this light. Now, the dim stuff, what I don't like About the light, number one, yes, it grows plants well, but there is a potential to grow algae, especially in 24/7 mode. Now, a lot of this has to do with the lighting spectrum. Now, there are many types of algae that like the green and yellow area of the spectrum, so I'd like to see that lowered, and I'd like to see the red spectrum increased just slightly. Number two, and this is a minor concern, but the power cord is a little bit short, and sometimes the power cord acts more like a lighting anchor that could be lengthened just a bit. And number three, in 24/7 mode, the light never turns off. This leads to long periods of actinic lighting. This is the light setting at 3 a.m., and when I had it on 24/7 mode, all the time I did notice an increase in algae growth, so keep that in mind. Overall, I like this light a lot. It has done a great job for my plants, but I do have some recommendations should you decide to buy it. Number one, keep in mind in 24/7 mode, the light on a timer will always turn back on at the 6 a.m. setting. Now, to illustrate that, I've just programmed the light in 24/7 mode on the 3 p.m. setting. And on my timer, I'm going to run my timer around, turn the light off and back on, so you can see what that 6 a.m. lighting setting looks like. And then we're going to manually program it and compare the two. So once this light comes back on, this is the 6 a.m. setting, and to illustrate further, I'm going to program the light on the 6 a.m. setting, and we're going to put both videos together. On the top, you'll see me programming it manually to 6 a.m., and on the bottom, you'll see me running my timer around on 24/7 mode, and you'll see the lighting looks exactly the same, so it always turns back on at the 6 a.m. setting. This means that if you have your light set to turn on at 12 p.m., you're going to get the 6 a.m. lighting. And if you're running your light 7 or 8 hours a day on 24/7 mode, you are going to miss some of the spectrum from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now, one idea is to turn the light on at 6 a.m. and perhaps turn that light off on your timer at 9 p.m. The problem with that is you're going to get 15 hours of lighting, and that could lead to excess algae growth. So, number two, another recommendation is just to simply leave the light on the max setting. If it is on the max light setting, and if you set your timer to 7 or 8 hours, I'm going to run this timer around to show you, the light will turn back on at the max setting. Once we turn this back on, it will revert back to the max setting and stay on that max setting. So what I'm doing now is running the light 7 to 8 hours a day on the max setting on a timer, but I am turning down the green spectrum just slightly, and I have that programmed in one of the memory banks in the controller. Overall, a great light, a little bit of room for improvement, which I've heard Finnex has already started working on, so I did purchase the new 24/7 Planet Plus SE light for a new tank build that I'm working on, and I will review this light once I have some experience with it. Folks, I hope that video was helpful to you. The Den is now on Instagram at dmichaelsfishden. Just started posting there. Join me if you are so inclined. Please like, comment, subscribe for future content. Thank you for the support. And as always, thanks for watching.